EverQuest is an endogenous PC massively multiplayer online role-playing game that came out in 1999. Its original designers were Brad McQuaid, Steve Clover, and Bill Trost, and was later published by Sony Online Entertainment. With over 20 expansions, 16 races, and 16 subclasses, there is plenty of content to keep almost everyone busy for an exuberant amount of time. The game world consists of over 500 zones, and currently its audience hosts over 500,000 subscribers daily. EverQuest is currently utilizing the Forlight graphics engine, which theoretically has to be dumbed down for the majority of the computers that are actually utilizing it, as it requires a pretty massive graphics card to run. Many of the dungeons and elements in EverQuest have been created from the MUD multi-user dungeon games, particularly Deku MUDs, which were in turn inspired from the traditional role-playing games such as Dungeons and Dragons. It also allows players to interact with other people through role-playing, joining player guilds, and dueling other players. The player versus player aspect of the game is limited to only the servers that allow that. Taking a little look at the EverQuest graphics, this is my character and my paladin, and you can see some of his gear. And we will go into his gear, and it shows some of the aspects of the game and utilizing some money. And let's go back into a little bit more of the review. Reviewing the game of EverQuest, I will use the TPAC framework method, focusing on the analysis. The overall gameplay does not provide immediate feedback on all decisions. Basically, players, in order to progress, they must better themselves by actually playing the game. And in order to better themselves, they'll have to complete missions and quests, hence the name EverQuest. And there are over 100 levels in the game, and it is an ability-based system consisting of over 3,000 abilities that can be achieved over time. So basically, you can't just play a short amount of time in the game and expect to be the best of the best. The main part of the game is that players must manage their resources, time, money, health, and abilities. The pedagogy of the game consists of business economics, social studies, mathematics, physics, technological literacy, social relationships, ethics, information literacy, and capitalist ideals of buying and selling. Some of the finer points that I would go into a little bit is basically the sale of in-game objects and real-world economics. Basically, players outside of the game do have a tendency of trying to sell real-world objects for real money. Even though they're not real-world objects, they're actually just inanimate objects that are in the game to, better the characters. So instead of taking the time, they do that. Intellectual property and role-playing. Players do role-play. Basically, if you can see the green text on my screen, it will show players interacting. And going back into the review, the content that the game was designed around may only be fully understood and learned through the playing or close observation of the gameplay to fully understand how it emerges. It is not just something you can play for a short amount of time and expect to have a great outcome. It takes a very long time and many hours of dedication to emerge in the game. and actually learn the gameplay and the strategies that actually require to beat most of the dungeons. If you see, in order to fully utilize the pedagogical approach using EverQuest, teachers must have students utilize the marketing system, geological systems, and social aspects of the game through the points in order to utilize the full learning aspect of the game. Basically, if you see the map, and basically if I wanted to go buy something from one of these merchants, these are just some of the aspects of the game. And also the communication, social aspect is, if you can see, the green is people typing to me, and I can actually type to them. And I don't know. This is my review, and hopefully it was enjoyable for everyone, and have a wonderful day. Take care.